All systems go, Captain. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm back, yeah. Love, crazy 8th degree, nerdcore rap guy. Got into a dual fate and I just pulled a trap card. Third-rate rappers with a fourth-rate catalog. Destined for the shadow realm, y'all should never act hard. Flow is so insidious that I need an apprentice type. Master with the force, peep the context in my sentence, right? Phantom like the Sithis, just don't ask me what my pen is like. They know that I'm the menace, who you kidding? Bitch, I'm Dennis like. Sweet to drive, hide-headed, rhymes are surely cold. Tested, you can never twist my metal like the jury goes. I ain't never mad when I push it to the max. I got Chris riding with me, about to turn this bitch to Fury Road. Since animated, I'm the one the crew congratulated. When this will provide protective cover like it's laminated. Damn, I made this 16 like a guillotine. It's fascinating. If you think that you're ahead, you get decapitated. All that aside, I ain't merely here to rap words. I'm here to tell you who representing for the black nerds. And to remind you, neither one of these are bad words. Biggest living mirrors, they just choose to see it backwards. Who be the leaders of discussion when a topic trends? Dissections got the culture under microscopic lens. Who got the type that you can miss it from the start and make you feel like an expert on the subject by the time it ends? Check the stat, Louis, viewership is mad nice. All these other shows don't seem to cut it, that's a bad slice. Off the books with unscripted drills you can't write. No vampires, but these interviews on Anne Rice. Yeah, this is the best part. Rhymes on Mandalorian, Independence made a best score. Starting a war with these stars, you won't get far. This is the way you play a game of life or death star. So far removed from the drama, we don't know this harm, but won't hesitate to shed a light like a Patronus charm. With mischief managed, troubles at a disadvantage. Must be something in the water, dip your toe because you know it's warm. Where can you find another show with such a fine cast? And if you try to box them in, they playing Minecraft. And basically to sum it up like you define math, this crew's the best and it figures like a line graph. A merry band like the words I do. Level-headed, you don't have to have absurd IQs. They know you can relate because they're nerds like you. With their help, you'll see the world from a blur's eye view. Yeah. You are now tuned in to Blerd's Eye View. And without further ado, we out. Yeah.
Hey, everybody, we are at the end of the week for most, for some, just one more day of work. I am your man on the wall, Chris Fury. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, for watching Blerd's Eye View. If this is your first time here, show your love on the YouTube channel. I'm not really sure what's happening on the IG channel because I can't see it, but if you are there, just go to the YouTube channel. Show your love over there. Hit that like, subscribe, that notification bell so you can catch lives and the entire show right there, full as plain as day. And you can also catch us on Always Press Record through your Roku and Amazon Fire devices. Listen to us wherever you listen to your podcasts and so much more. But without further ado, let's get this thing started. We'll start it off with the shipwright of the crew, our Frankie. I'm not sure if he drinks cola, but you know, he's been known to have a couple stories like breaking lug nuts in front of mechanics and of the such. Black Spartan, what's going on?
I won't say broke the lug nuts, but apparently to the point to where it's like we can't get them off. And how did you do it? And okay, I might have slightly bit the lug. Hey, I'm not helping my story. What's going on?
You're not helping the story. You're proving my point about us being like the One Piece crew. You're literally between you and Shoyo, you've both proven my point. And Kira is somewhere kicking herself like, damn it, I know I'm Zoro and I hate it. She doesn't really hate Zoro. She just
oh yeah, Shoyo's definitely Chopper. She's definitely Chopper.
she doesn't like it, but it is what it is. Meanwhile, I guess you could say he's the Brook of the crew. He's the preacher. He's the man with the plan. He's the bearded wonder. Navy Montel, what's happening?
I'm tired, boss. I'm still tired. Yo,
it's
shout outs to
look,
Otaku Noir for this amazing thing.
That is an awesome mug that they had. If you were capable to be at Blerd Con, they had two special edition mystery boxes. One was the Slice of Life box, which I received. The other one was the Ozzy Oz the Virus, which shout out to Ozzy Oz the Virus. He has a special deal with our very own Tafari TV, so he's got some stuff going on. You want to see all the amazing stuff. Shout out to Otaku Noir. We are also in the field of Otaku Noir because they never, ever cease to amaze me with every box that they have. I feel bad that I don't get one every month.
I wish I could too. You're not wrong about that. I really wish I could because
it's really the first company, one, that's Black owned, two, the first mystery box company where they've had something every month that I've wanted.
Spartan, you should have been there, bro. I wish you could have been there. Let me tell you. Oh, and can I say something real quick to everybody? Do not bitch and complain about getting sick. Y'all knew what you were getting into when you walked into the fucking venue. I'm sorry. You can't get mad you got sick because people think they're impervious. They got Teflon shorts and stainless steel skin. You're going to get sick.
I seriously thought
so they didn't realize being among crowds of people that there is a chance.
There's a chance.
And people are
which
mad.
Once again proves Shoyo correct as she came in with the mask on.
But then she got around our melodious souls and spirits, and she let it go.
And we were okay. Not saying we got the antidote, but she is the chopper of the crew. My second in command, my dear to my heart, she is my Zoro to my Luffy. She hates it, but it's the only one she accepts.
She can't stand it.
It's the only thing she accepts, but she will pull one-on-one if you need to get some stuff handled. So, Lady Mandalore.
Hi.
Hey, baby.
Don't you dare come
now,
in.
No, because see, that high is this like, you know what, Captain? You're right. I'll allow it. He's not wrong.
So just accept the damn title, girl, because you earned it. Okay, just
only. I stand by my Mando title, but I will. Zoro is being massaged into the repertoire.
Gosh, here we go.
However, see, look, I got the eye thing down. That's not a problem.
Lightsabers, and yet she will not accept it.
No,
it's the only one she accepts.
That part.
It's the only one she'll accept. Our boots on the ground. Man with the plan. He's like a cowboy out in these streets.
Yeah, motherfucking hard. There we go.
The way me and him ponied up and started corralling guests, it was on point. My man Tafari TV, what's happening?
It's funny I mentioned Zoro because I got the swordsman card in the gift bag last week.
Nice. Stop showing off, damn it. Stop it.
Always doing
these are technically presents for all of us. They just went to my house. That's
just keep that in mind when we meet up again because I'm like, I need my card now.
I'm telling him he needs to come next year. Biz scoped it out, but he liked what he saw as a result. So
he's gonna get mad love. Definitely that.
I'm trying to tell him.
I mean, if Meg and Cleo and the like are showing them love, trust me. We got a special guest in the house with us tonight. He is one of the co-owners of Atlantic Comic-Con coming up this month. Is it this month or no? August. In August. Deron Flood is in your neck of the woods. Deron Flood is in the building. Deron, what's happening, brother?
Hey, Big D, what's good, man?
Yo, what up? What up? What's going on, man?
So, this man is. He's like, give me a minute.
I know.
He on the move. He is on the move, brother. So let's get into it because it's something I want to ask you that was brought to my attention. But Atlanta Comic-Con, let's talk about it, man. This is its first year, right?
Right.
Let's talk about when does it take place? Where is it taking place?
So it's August 17th and 18th at the downtown Sheridan in Waterside, Norfolk, Virginia. Like I said, August 17th and 18th in Norfolk, Virginia at the Sheridan downtown Waterside.
Ooh, it's fancy.
15 minutes from my house. 15 minutes is all I gotta say. I'll go grab me and I'm right there.
It's enough for me to jump back on the road for this. Just as like, you know what, Navy, I'm parking my car at your house.
Dude, I got a couch for one. That's all I gotta say.
Don't let the whole crew show up.
Y'all get the floor. That's all I gotta say.
So, Deron, it's you and Greg Burnham, correct?
Correct.
So, there is something I definitely want to ask you. I've been told that you have an extensive comic book collection.
I do.
What are we talking?
So I have been collecting comics since about 92. And I've been collecting on and off for upwards 30 years. And it's a reflection of my values at this point. At first it was, if you guys are anywhere around my age, the segue into comics was X-Men the animated series. And that grew from X-Men the animated series to, just stretching outside of like the Marvel universe. And then in the last, I'll say about 12 to 15 years, it's been exclusively focusing on Afrocentric themes. And so Black characters, Black artists, Black writers, anything around Blackness. And
I was about to say Blackness. That's the first thing that was going to come to mind was Blackness.
Right. And so, I don't think that there's 5 people on the planet that have a collection like I have with that theme. I'm actually a part of a group. I actually started a group called Blerd, and that grew into another group called Black Comic Lords. I'm pretty sure all of you guys are familiar with it. Those guys started out in my group, and then because my group kind of evolved into like a multi-fandom group, but they wanted to keep the comic book theme because that's how I started it that way. And then, like I said, it evolved into like a multi-fandom group, and they was like, look, we still want to keep the comics what it is. And so Herschel decided to do Black Comic Lords. But those are one of, we're the parent group, and Black Comic Lords, kind of sprung off from us. And so, I have everything. Any Black character. I have E.C. Stoner books. He's the very first ever Black illustrator in comics to date.
The fact that I'm familiar with that name, that says that. I'm like, oh yeah, you in the paint. You in the paint.
I have Golden Age books up to, the modern Holy Grail, Ultimate Fallout 4, the variant 125. I have that in the 9.8 as well.
Let's go, sir.
So was $40,000. So yeah, I own that.
I mean, it's like a light flex.
Don't be telling people.
So
too late. He already told him.
Have you seen this guy in person? Like, come on, like,
who is going to tell him? Give me your shit.
Right.
Who is going to tell him?
Right. So yeah, man. I'm really happy. I mean, everything from First Falcon to First Storm, anything. Like I got all that.
Oh yeah, you
respect.
Yeah,
I tip my hat to you, sir.
Yeah, much respect.
If I would have known we would have brought it up, I would have brought some of my pieces out.
Nah.
You
got
it enough. Your speaking was enough for flex, bro. We don't need that.
I'm gonna take your word for it. I'm just saying
that part.
So I will take it that Atlantic Comic Con, which is like your typical comic book convention, only based keeping it in that realm, correct?
I don't like the word typical.
How would you describe it?
Atypical. Because one, there's a cultural component that won't be replicated for a while. Because what I've been able to accomplish with, getting out here in the field and the relationships that I've been able to develop, ain't nobody gonna see anything like this. That's the guarantee.
So what, you know what? I've seen some of the people that you have coming in. Who are some of the guests that you have?
So Larry Stroman, Todd Johnson. I guess I'll let you guys be the first to know that, even though I didn't publish her card yet. Asia Simone, she done Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
Let's go.
I have an athletic background, and I won't get in, like, I guess I'll bounce around a little bit, but I have a U.S. Olympian, gold medalist. She'll be there with her books. Her name is Waterland Jonathan. And like I said, my background is athletics, so I'm going to be pulling from the athletic realm a lot here soon. I'm making a few announcements, so there will be a lot of crossover from like literature and athletics. And again, there isn't a con that's going to do what I'm doing.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Like, that is completely different. I stand corrected, my guy. Like,
No, you got the focus. You're focused on the right part of the comic convention.
Yeah.
That's what's different from the rest of these cons that are out here. They're very celebrity forward,
Right.
instead of feeding their base, which are people that are into even the animated. I would be happy even if they put up like the animated stuff, animated series people up. But it's
Right.
It's fine. Don't get me wrong. It's fine. I like it. However, I do, as somebody that's getting back into comics, I do miss being able to walk through a con, talk to the author, talk to the illustrator, get their ideas, pick their brains about stuff like, why did you choose this versus that? I don't get to do that at NYCC.
Right.
It's too much. Like it's oh God. And I want Black cons to get big, but I miss the small cons. I really do. It's such a different vibe. It's such a different vibe.
And so we don't want to be a small con.
No.
Wow.
By all means, please don't let me.
I get what you're saying, but like I want to be very clear about like what the vision is. Like, we're getting back to the literacy component in Comic Con. So there'll be panels, there'll be workshops. So if you're interested in writing or being a better artist, you'll have professionals around you you can sit in and learn. But we know that the hobby has been struggling over the years, and it's because we've moved away from it. And so what we're going to do is make that the focus. And we'll still have those other components to our convention. But make no mistake, we're going to do this on a very large scale. And there's going to be a huge literacy component because we know what's going on with literacy in the United States. And so, unfortunately, if the United States is suffering, our communities suffer exponentially more, right? And so we getting back to all of that foundational stuff that made Comic Cons what they were.
I like that. I like that whole you bringing comics in as the part of the literacy project of it, because I've spoken to several people throughout life, and there's a gentleman here in Cleveland who runs Carolyn John Comic Shop. It was a mother and son own shop, been going for 40 years, I want to say. And he got into comics because his grandfather was an immigrant, and that's how his grandfather learned to read, was through reading comics. And then he passed his comics on to his grandson, which in turn continues on that thing. And I like that theme of, you know, getting a kid to read a book. It's difficult, and as we all know, for children to read anything, you know, when it starts to come. But if you put something in front of them that gives them that interest, i.e. comics, that grabs them right away, because now they're learning words that you generally would not learn until several years later in their life.
Pretty much.
So I love that. You're right. Your convention is definitely atypical on more than one level. I can appreciate that.
Thank you.
You mentioned you started collecting in '92. So you started collecting at a time where I call it the boom. So that means you were having because I started collecting them around that time. You were collecting like what 8 to 9 titles of X-Men comics between the X-Men main titles and the offshoots.
All the
So I know pockets upon pockets upon pockets on costumes and just X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, Astonishing X-Men, X-Factor, X-Force, Generation X,
X-Man,
X-Man, Excalibur. So that was 8 titles right there. Like X-Men and Spider-Man were the major running titles for Marvel because Spider-Man had about just as many titles. There wasn't a week that a release didn't go by and you got something. It was you going home with stacks, and it helped that these books were $1.25 a piece at the time. So
instead of $5.
Instead of $5, right? So
walked in the comments with $20 and felt like a millionaire.
Right. So Navy, question.
First of all, Deron, every time I see you, brother, there's nothing but love and energy coming off you. Every time you show that, and the passion that you have for comics rivals mine. I think I've just been collecting longer than anybody. I've been doing it since I was 9, and I'm in my 50s now. So what made you decide that this particular component of literacy, which I agree with because that's how I grew up in my literacy and my ability to read improved with comics. Because let's face it, regular books just weren't doing it. But when you've got pictures and they're talking, you're now engaged with the story and with the character. So what made you decide that literacy became the focus for Atlantic Comic Con?
So it's the same thing as you. You use both sides of your brain when people are telling stories through like graphic novels. So it isn't just the words. The pictures also tell a story. And so there's tons of research that shows that actually reading a graphic novel or a comic is actually more beneficial to your focus and than reading you know what I mean? Because you got to be hyper fixated on not only the text, but seeing how the story flows in the sequence. Like that stuff really challenges your brain. You know what I'm saying? And it sparks a whole lot of interest. So stories are being told through 2 lenses, you know, through like visual arts, and then you actually have to read the text. So you're getting, you know, 2 instances of education in that point. So that was my story, you know what I mean? And so I live here in Norfolk, and like I know what the literacy rates are like here. We don't stay in a neighborhood, well, in a city where the literacy rates are on a positive side of the national average. And so I want to give access is big for me. And so if I can inspire young people, hell, and old people, because I know a lot of old people that they put their finger on that thing and reading like this. You know what I'm saying? to get back into reading, that'll be a good thing. And then we're having fun while we're doing it. You know what I mean? Like, and then the other aspect of it is the cultural component. What do we know about education when it comes to digesting things? If an educator looks more like you, you're more susceptible to absorb that information. So it's very important for me and the optics that if I know that I'm particularly marketing to my community, then the people who are going to be giving out delivering the messages needs to look like the community that I'm marketing to.
This is so true.
Yeah, and definitely shout outs to you for getting the Sheraton at downtown by Waterside, because that a lot of people realize that is an amazing location for an event like this. Because you get access to downtown Norfolk quick as a wink. It's not tough. You get everything around. Sir, shout outs to you on that one, because I'm 10 minutes away. So all I got to do is just drive there and drive back. So
the look
I'm
when Navy said,
and I'm not gonna act like it hasn't been a struggle. Like
that look you had when he said that, that look was that seemed like that. I am so glad I got that position, that shot. I'm so glad I got that. I know that look. That's that look of, whoo, I'm so glad I got that.
It's been a struggle. I mean, they haven't. Well, I won't say that since it's cool. It's been great.
You've succeeded in your quest.
Right.
Put it like this. I'm just glad it's not at the Virginia Beach Convention Center because I have my qualms with that crazy ass place.
So
Yo.
listen, that's the other thing, and I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
Shout out to Hilton and what he does at BlerdCon. He's a huge inspiration for me. And so one of the things that I absolutely wanted to poach was making sure that the convention was in a hotel because of that communal feel. You know what I mean? You don't get that same communal feel in a convention center. It feels more like a marketplace than a community of people.
Yep.
And I don't want people to walk up and down the lines and then that just be it. And then they go home like, what's next? No, that you don't get that same feel in a hotel that you would in a convention center.
Right. Lady Mandalore?
I am caught off guard.
Yet you were next in line. How dare you?
I didn't know when it was going to stop. Come back to me. Come back to me.
Okay.
No, I don't have my question.
Bro had to sit up like, damn, man.
Come on now.
No, I'm managing our chat, so my PC's over here, but I'm on my phone. So.
Well, I'll go to Spartan because since
I'm good. I'm multi. So if you see me over here, I'm reaching for the other keyboard. I got like 3 over here.
Oh well, if you got a question, go ahead.
All right. So part of a larger conversation we've been having for months, being a Black convention lead, what has been some of the trials and tribulations you have that some people might not know about, or if you're going to jump into this, you should probably know ahead of time?
Trials and tribulations. I mean, outside of just being a very big black bald head dude with muscles. I think that's the biggest thing. I flirted with the idea of getting somebody who's a little easier on the eyes to market this whole thing. Let's see. Funding is always a thing, but as you guys know, we started a Kickstarter, and that was a tremendous help. And I literally exhausted my entire network. During that, can I talk about the Kickstarter?
Please.
Yeah.
So, with the Kickstarter, at day 15 of the Kickstarter, I had maybe 860 outgoing calls from day 1 to day 15 of the Kickstarter. And I probably had another 50 meetings with people just to raise money. So it was very, very, very difficult. And I know people saw that we did it in, a short amount of time, but like that grind was crazy. Literally calling every contact in my phone saying, look, I need $50. Look, I need $40. Look, I need $100. What can you do for me? And so like when it comes to like fundraising, I tell people all the time, if you don't have the audacity to get out here and ask for money all the time, not just some of the time or when you feel like it, I would not do a convention because it takes so much money, like tens of thousands of dollars to do this. Right? If you don't have that money on your own, then you got to get a hustle about yourself. And so I tell people, especially people in this nerd space, a lot of folks are, they deal with anxiousness or social anxiety and things like that. If you're unwilling to get in front of people, do the talking and hard acts, don't do it. Unless you're rich. Now, if you're rich, you know what I'm saying? Do what you want if you got the money. But like the fundraising, I don't think it was difficult as much as it was daunting. Like it just took a lot. You know what I mean? Beyond that, the organizational piece has been very difficult. So, I have my own business here in Norfolk, and I juggle that with everything else that I'm doing. And I would recommend that somebody have like a team of people. Luckily for me, when I'm talking to my clients and I'm talking to my trainers and I'm saying, look, I have to go from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because I have to go vend at the ocean front. People just don't have that same type of flexibility. You know what I'm saying? And so like you need a lot of time too. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Because like I'm extremely competitive because I come from an athletic background. So like the idea of me losing drives me crazy. So I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to make sure that when I close my eyes on August 19th, I gave it my best shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you need a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of hustle. And I know it's like extremes, but that's what it takes. Like I'm always tired now, and I never complain about being tired.
Look, I don't think a lot of people understand when, especially when it comes to not just running a convention or getting one off the ground, but to continue having it run year after year. Like they think, okay, I got it, it's done, and I can relax. That's not always actually 90% of the time that ain't the case.
You shouldn't be.
Yeah, you're like you said, that August 19th, that's your rest day. You like, but that 24 hours later,
right?
You back at it. You back at it.
Believe me, I'm already on that grind. We got Blerd coming in March, and we are already hustling. We're already trying to get things straight. So I completely understand that. I'm still tired. It's Thursday, and I'm still tired.
Look, I haven't slept since we got back. Let's put it that way.
What's that? What really? I just bookmarked my life. That's all.
Thank God I like reading Batman, and I'm like, oh, that's what a micro nap is. Okay, all right.
Wow.
Spartan, what you got?
Oh man, Ron kind of answered 3 of my questions off the bat.
See, you can't blame me and Lady Mandalore this time.
I know. I mean, he had my question as far as the challenges of starting your own con. So I would sit there and say this because as I was listening, I'm like, well, God dang, he answered that one and that one. Now, okay, I got one. Because you went through the entire process of running a con, of putting it together, of the financials, the securities, liabilities. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but what was the biggest, I won't even say challenge, what was the biggest obstacle that you had in getting Atlanta Comic-Con to become a reality?
That's a broad question.
Right. So I don't think there was any like real challenge. Like this is a roadblock, and I'm struggling to get over it. I think it was. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, let me put it this way: the one that well, not just the challenging, but the one thing that would literally, it wasn't pressing, but at the same time, it required a lot of your attention. I'll put it that way.
Maybe like organization, so because I do business, so like none of this stuff is new to me, and I also do events here in Norfolk. I do the Hampton Roads Met Gala here as well. So like all of these things are like not new to me. But what I will say, because a convention has so many components to it, like trying to manage all of that, whether it's marketing, whether it's talking to Greg about following up with somebody because we need our passes, and we need the digital art for our passes done sooner than later. It's definitely like the organizational piece. Like I just wish I had more time, or I should just quit my job.
Or you could get some volunteers.
Yeah, just bring in
people. So here's the thing: when you're in your first year, you literally have to vet people. And I will say, I'm going to put somebody on blast. I will say, I'll put somebody on blast. Mr. Montel, I tried to get some help from somebody, and he pushed me off on somebody else, and he right around the corner.
Not the Reverend. Not the Reverend.
I walked into some violence. Let's go.
Well, damn.
I'm sorry, the old man that you tried to reach is no longer in service. If you reach this crusty old dude in error, please hang up and try. Now, do you know what? And I will say is I'm sorry, and it's not. I trust me. I don't blow anybody off, but I knew Blerd was coming up, and I had those responsibilities as well. So I completely understand. But I will tell you this: Blerd is over, and if you need me from here, just count on me. I'll do the best I can.
Navy's the kind of guy that he'll go to the convention of people that he knows, and he might see the glitch and say, "Hey, let me help you out real quick."
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind giving my
he's not going to leave people hanging.
Right. And so, like, there's a few spaces that is completely foreign to me. So one of the things that I did want to incorporate was tabletop gaming, and I know Mr. Montel. I literally, when I was like asking around the area, like all signs was pointing to this dude, and so I reached out to him, and he was just like, you know what, fuck you. No, I'm just
Wow. Wow.
Didn't see that one
Okay.
coming.
Not
Wow.
Mr. Tabletop Room himself.
Yo,
And
hold on.
so,
I gotta
you
get another
know,
microphone. You know what? We're coming to you live from this nigga's house right here.
and so I was going to like all of these shops and stuff like that, and I was just like, you know what, we just won't do it because I'm tired of asking people and begging, and yeah, so we won't do tabletop this year. This year we won't do tabletop. So
In other words, he's saying
next year.
he said
You
you got him on speed dial. That's what he's saying.
Right.
You got him on speed dial.
Well, Deron, I'll say this: you got me for next year, brother. You ain't got to worry about that. I got you.
I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
You got 5 months after BlerdCon this year, so you got plenty of time. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna throw
I
that out
started planning now. Shut your ass up. How about that?
Not Kira with the throw of the bus moment.
Don't start with me, okay? I'm still tired, so I'm still cranky from everything else. Don't do
Just
it.
making time. I'm just making time. That's all I'm saying.
You just gotta make sure Navy has no Uno allowed in his contracts. That's all.
So Deron, you attended BlerdCon this year. What was your experience like?
It's always, well, it was different. Usually I'm in cosplay, going crazy, like just mingling, socializing and things. I was on a mission this year, so it wasn't as fun for me because I was working. But like when I wasn't, at my booth and stuff like that, just talking to the vendors and my friends that came up, it's always an amazing time. Like, I've grown, especially now that I'm on this side of the table. Like, I'm in full defense of any and all criticisms of BlerdCon now. Like, I just don't say anything weird, don't say anything bad, because you don't have any idea. You have no idea
the machine behind the scenes,
right? Like, and so like I find myself, like, especially online, like reducing myself, and I never do that. Because I know that I would get irritated and say some things that might rub people the wrong way. But I had an amazing time at BlerdCon. It was great seeing everybody. I had a lot of fun, and I look forward to it in March. And this time I'm going to cosplay.
There you go. I know we had crossed paths like 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, I'm trying to get him over, but it was always somebody in the slot, and I'm like, I'm not trying to bump somebody at the slot, but I'm like, let me see if I can squeeze him in because I want you guys to win. This is the goal. Like it's first year con coming out, Black owned con, and then as you described, a very different convention than any other convention that's out there, because your focus isn't just on the comics. It's focused on literacy. It's focused on the athleticism. You're bringing in people who you normally don't see in these spaces, but are involved in some form in these spaces, and it's definitely a necessary thing. And that's why I was so glad when you mentioned the literacy part, because too many times we've seen over the years coming up, collecting and whatever, you would hear people like, "Oh man, you read comics?" Yeah, but you'd be surprised,
right?
You'd be surprised at what's in a comic book, and then you see things that are happening in reality, and you're just like, there is a solution. Y'all just don't want to use it. So
right.
So I appreciate that kind of that candor with you. Ready, Mandalore?
You know what? My question is going to be for the end. I'm going to wait for everybody else to finish.
Are you sure?
I am 1,000% certain.
She's gonna drop the bomb on everybody.
Oh yeah, she's known for that. Trust me. Just get ready, D.
At least she forewarned me. She always says, "Captain, can I?" And I'm like, just don't hit any windows. We need to.
Make sure you got armrests that you can grip on too, because
He gonna be fine. He's fine.
Laney, you got a question, Griot or Horror? Laney, you got a question?
Not right now because I just came in.
Just
Actually,
checking.
I was doing mommy duty, so I couldn't listen. I just made sure
Oh, you
that
don't have to explain.
my phone was on. But
we have
welcome,
life.
hello. I just wanted to know. I mean, actually, I do, but this might have been already said, so I apologize. What con are you running? Is it a Harbinger of Darkness? Because it sounds like it's something that might be up my alley.
I'm running Atlantic Comic Con. Why you ain't get your folks hip to what I got going on?
Because she works in education.
Yeah.
So she's not gonna see anything until late.
Until late, yes. So I do apologize about that.
Right.
So,
And I then
we
once I came
are
home, I was right
first
in the mommy
year.
mode.
Yeah, we're first year Comic Con, Atlantic Comic Con in Norfolk, Virginia, and we're going August 17th and 18th.
Nice.
But once again, so I like the fact that you said when you started collecting and comics that it was part of your morale, right? It was part of your moral structure, and I like that because I'm the same way. You know, just helping people when I can. You know, knowing the difference right and wrong. You know, just fighting through some of the pain, the anguish, whatever, to make sure the stuff, whatever it is I'm doing, is done. You know, from Spider-Man and X-Men, and I don't know a black person on the planet who dislikes the X-Men, for the simple fact that, like, I identify with everything they're going through. So like, it's like, if anybody knows anything, it's us. So I like the fact that you've incorporated all of that in your lifestyle and building not just yourself but others around you. Running a convention is not easy. When you know, and I've heard stories of people, oh, I want to start one. You have no idea what it entails, what this involves, what, you know.
Bless your heart.
The monster you're trying to create.
Right. I mean, and so I always try to dissuade people from doing it. They see that I attempted it, but like, it was literally years in the making. You know what I mean? From being a business owner to somebody who throws events, I already have one leg up. You know what I mean? So it isn't like the logistical aspect of understanding business and things like that is foreign to me. So I already have that foundation. And then prior to that, as a comic book collector, I have relationships with literally every last black writer or illustrator that worked at Marvel, DC, Image. I know them all. You know what I'm saying? So when I decided that I was going to pull a trigger, the first person I called was Greg, because Greg, not only is he a dope writer, culturally, he's what I want as far as like what's going to be represented. I don't want to have no issues about, you know, I'm picking this black person specifically because of this and get pushback. You know what I mean? Because we're on the same wavelength when it comes to like the decision. So I made sure that, you know, I picked somebody who would understand why I'm making some of the decisions that I was going to make. And so Greg was absolutely the first person that I called up. And he was just like, what took you so long? Literally, that's the first thing he said. He was like, bro, I see what you do back home. What took you so long? And I'm just like, you know, there's a time for everything, and we here now. You know what I'm saying? And so I recruited Greg, and I was like, Greg, this is what I need from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're in the circuit, you know these people. I know of these people. When I shake their hands, they be like, oh, you know, Flood, yada, yada, yada. But you done ran conventions up and down and left and right with all these people. So if I'm saying, like, look, I need to get, you know, Larry Stroman, I need for you to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows me as a fan. You a colleague to him. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very different thing. You know what I'm saying? So like, strategically, I had to make sure that Greg was going to be my first guy that I grabbed up, you know, moving forward. So like, there was definitely like a methodology to, you know, from here to now, like starting from, you know, 92 to get my first comic, to building virtual spaces, to going up and down comic cons, So it isn't just like one day I had an epiphany and I was like, I'm gonna do a convention. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes a lot of groundwork, relationships, capital. You know, I wouldn't have started the Kickstarter if I didn't know that it would have been fulfilled, because you got to think about it. What does that look like optically for people who want to go to the convention? You can't even raise no money. What makes you think I'm going? You know how we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you can't raise no money, so we're not going to go there. You know what I'm saying? So like, I had to make sure that even prior to doing a Kickstarter, I was already talking to a bunch of people like, look, I'm going to do a convention. I'm going to start a Kickstarter first. What you going to do? Oh, I'm in. Oh, I'm in. I'm in. So like, first 3 days, I was damn near there. You know what I'm saying? So
Whoopty, you got a question?
Yeah, make sure I'm not a mute. Okay. My question is, you said that you weren't able to incorporate tabletop gaming for whatever reasons this year. Is there any other thing that you would like to add to the con going forward that you don't necessarily have right now, but you could definitely see it being part of your experience in the coming years?
I want, and again, I'm just a comic book guy. I want Rodney Barnes. I want Brian Hill. I want Christopher Priest. I want I want Sanford Green. I want all the black talent that writers.
You hitting some notes, my guy.
None of these celebrities, these voice actors, and none of that. I'm a comic book guy, so I want all of comic book royalty to be at my convention.
When you said Priest, Barnes, and Green, I'm like, you know what? I can get with that. I can get with that,
especially Rodney, because I had a chance to meet and talk to him. That is a stand-up dude. I love his work.
I love the fact that you are taking the blackness of it and saying, look, it's time these guys see it and say, yo, you're the reason why I read this. You're the reason why I got into doing something else, or got into writing, or got into art. You're the reason because they don't see it enough.
They don't.
Right.
I think it's a lot of this generation don't see enough of us as a part of that. That's the key, because growing up reading these comics, you hope that you see someone that looked like us. When you find out that they were other people that were writing and said, okay, I'm getting disillusioned, but you're writing about a black character, but you've never lived a black life. You've never had that black experience. But when you come up, you see Milestone with the Dennis Cowans, and you come up with the artists like the Nicholas Drapers and all of them, and the Rodney Barnes, you see that. You can look and go, this can be done. I can write, I can draw, I can create a comic because I see someone who's doing it and proven successful.
Right.
So this is a win all across the board, because our young generation needs to see this. So as far as I'm concerned, Deron's a hero. That's how I see it.
When I say Don McGregor is the reason why I really started reading Black Panther, Christopher Priest is the reason why I kept reading Black Panther.
Right. So if I could piggyback off of Montel's statement, I did a comparison analysis on the cultural differences between black writers and illustrators and white ones as they write black characters, and it rubbed people all the wrong way, and I didn't care at all.
Why? True is true.
So I didn't care at all. So I took Miles Morales and I took Falcon. When a white person wrote Miles Morales, they partnered Miles Morales with a white person. Right? And all of his stories his villains, especially, were white villains. When Cody Ziegler got Miles Morales, he was partnered with a black person, and all of his villains was also black. Same thing with Sam Wilson. Not only did they take the man's moniker and change it completely, they made him Captain America. They partnered him with a white person. When Rodney Barnes got him, They literally shattered the shield. The symbolism is crazy, right?
I
They
remember that.
shattered the shield and they partnered him with Misty Knight. Black folks need to write black shit all the time.
Thank you.
I can't say that enough. It's not a racist thing. It's just there are just
we know ourselves.
We know how to write ourselves.
Right.
It's fact.
There's a prime example of that is, and I'm glad you mentioned Miles Morales. A prime example was the What If Miles Morales.
Oh, I knew. I was just thinking that. I was just thinking
what
about
if
that.
Miles Morales was Thor? And in the vernacular that was used throughout there, we were just like, are you serious right now?
Right.
The way he was written was trash, bro.
I was like, you took a very cool character, a very cool concept, and you bastardized it.
Yeah, it was so cringy. Like oh my god, woo! It was terrible. Like they had graffiti on the rainbow. Don't you remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I was really into the whole. I love the What If series, by the way. It's always a fun series to read. But I'm reading this thing, and then when he used Hammer Time, and I'm like, you know what? Let me put this book down.
That was it.
They had graffiti on Mjolnir. I'm sitting there going, nigga, what? Are you serious right now? I walked out. I left work. I said, I can't do this.
His look was decent, but I'm like,
no, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. It was a Killmonger.
No, it wasn't.
No, because I seen a cosplayer actually do it, and his look was decent, but I'm like, it could be better. Like I said, decent. I'm like, it could be better. But then
it was
it was everything else started really falling apart, and I'm like, yeah, this ain't it. Let's
make Asgard a neighborhood somewhere and just make it as stereotypical as possible. But we're going to put it in a mythical world, and it's all going to make sense. Nigga, to who?
Right.
To who? I walked off work. I said, you know what? Y'all can fire me, put me where I said I'm leaving, because this right here is not what comics are all about. This is pandering to people, making them think that it's okay. It's not okay. Because now you put this in the hands of a kid, they're going to think, oh, this is normal. No, it's not. And again, it's not written by a black person. It was written by a Hispanic dude. That makes it even worse.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm like, so you have a person of color writing about a person of color, but it's not, it's so off. It's so off and wrong. And like you said, Duran, it was cringe as hell. Because you're just like, maybe it was it wasn't a one-off. No, damn, I can't finish this. And I didn't. Like all the what ifs, I'm like, it's probably the one what if book I couldn't finish. Because it was just so
ignorant.
Yeah. Ignorant. Yeah, that part.
Ignorant is the right word.
So, Lady Mandalore, I'm gonna give you the question, and Duran, we're gonna let you, because I know you said you gotta do some things early in the morning, you running ACC and everything else. So
all right. So first of all, I am incredibly proud of you for achieving this. From idea to actualization, that is an incredible feat for the first year of any con. But let's fast forward. The con is over. Whatever happened. What are your plans for next year? What are your goals for next year? Let's say you shattered your goals for this year. What are your goals for next year? How are you going to achieve them? How can you strategize better for yourself?
So growth is always a thing. Like you want more attendees. That's out the gate. Like whatever the number is that we finish up with on the 18th, we want to double that. Like that's going to be the number one thing. Number two will probably be recruit Montel. I'm giving him a hard time.
I take it.
Like I'm giving him a hard time.
You're gonna need that. You're gonna need that Roshi stick.
Say that because I got a few commitments this year that had to decommit, but promised that they were going to be at the next one. And so what I'm going to do, literally the next day, is send out those contracts and lock their butts in. And I'm gonna say, look, we already here for next year. So, and they were some heavy hitters, you know what I'm saying? Like, they would really like change things for us as far as like attendance. And so those promises will be locked in literally on the 24 hours. And we'll upload them to the website. You know what I mean? Beyond that, assembling a for real team. You know what I mean? So I'll probably give myself a week before I kind of like assess who was really about the con, who really wasn't about the con, because you feel that stuff. You know what I mean? The engagement from I have actual family that's going to be in town. And so like they'll be able to tell me like, yo, this person was really going above and beyond. You know, people was asking for this and they was doing extra. There's one person that I have in mind, and I can't say that person's name. I can't even give the gender because they're going to know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to pay somebody a lot of money after the con for a reason. But they've been everything for me. Like, not even asked. I mean, just they need to be broken off. And I'm in that space where, you know, I believe in, you know, compensating folks for the things that they've done, especially if nobody asked them to do it. So I want to take care of those folks. Beyond that, I want to get the school systems involved. That's going to be like my next project. I have some politicians that I train in my gym, and we've already kind of talked about that. It was a little last minute for me talking to that person, but like I want to get Norfolk Public Schools and Virginia Beach Public Schools and Portsmouth Public Schools involved into this, because again, we're really dumping on the literacy component, and everybody can benefit from that. So like you know, building those relationships with the cities, and I don't know. Outside of that, you know, just continue to do what we're doing.
I'm going to shout somebody out who brought Atlantic Comic Con to my attention. He's a cousin of the show. Nick's from Do You Speak Geek.
Oh, my man.
He brought it to my attention, and I'm like, yo, really? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, consider it done. Consider
Shout
it done.
out to C, man. Like I won't say his first name because I don't know if he likes people that know us. Shout out to Knicks, man. That's my guy. He stays right around the corner from me, actually.
See, there you go.
Oh, word? Okay.
I'm gonna call him Black Street.
Tell him check the phone.
Duran, we're about to let you go. Tell everybody where they can find you.
So please, I need everybody that's on this live right now to go to Instagram and go to Atlantic Comic Con, at Atlantic Comic Con, and give us a follow. I need that from everybody that's listening right now. How many people is on this live
right now? 11 right now.
So I should have 11 new. If you ain't already a follower, I should have 11 new followers at Atlantic Comic Con. Please give us a follow. Beyond that, we're on Facebook. You can check out the website. We have a newsletter that you can subscribe to too. But in the immediate, if you want to help out us, follow Atlantic Comic Con on Instagram, please.
So,
and please interact with the posts. That also helps.
We know how. We know.
Put a comment. You could just do an emoji, smiley face, whatever. Pass it on to your neighbor. Interact.
We know how those algae rhythms like to act. So
you see something impressive. How much is it to attend for anybody who might be interested?
So 1 day pass is $30. Weekend pass is $55.
You still can't beat that. Those are good prices.
Right. Those are not bad prices.
Great price.
We man. I don't want no problems from any. Oh, it's too expensive. No, bro. Like, listen, you're not going to get this lineup. You're not going to get the gaming. You're not going to get any of this stuff for the price that we're giving it. And we're on the waterfront. So listen, stop it.
Yeah. Atlantic Comic Con. Go give a follow if you aren't already following Duran Flood, brother. I wish I could make this. I'm in Cleveland, so I wish I could make this thing. But Navy will be there. He'll be supporting the
Oh,
play.
I will be there with bells on. D, you
And
need,
I
like I
know
said,
Knicks
reach
will be
out
there.
to me, brother. Reach out to me.
And Mayhem will be there too, I think. That's in Mayhem's neck of the woods. Not too far from him anyway. But yo, Deron, brother, I can't congratulate you and Greg Burnham enough on the Kickstarter. Number one, the purpose, the mission behind the convention. It's definitely different. Y'all need to go out there. Y'all been following us for 4 years. You know how we rock. We're not gonna steer you wrong. Go follow this brother. Go show your love to Atlantic Comic Con at Atlantic Comic Con on IG. We will be right back from this commercial. Duran, thank you, brother. Thank you
so much.
I give you the blessings of the Blerd community for your success.
Thank you so much.
So I appreciate that, man. We'll be right back. We're gonna talk about a little bit of news. If you're watching on the IG channel, go check us out on YouTube because they give us an hour on IG. So go check us out over there. But we'll be right back. You never know what we up to. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's a very special mail time brought to you by homie and friend of the show, Ozzy Oz the Virus. Y'all know me and Ozzy got a friendship that predates the pandemic and both of us growing out our hair. So let's open it up and see what we got. So these are items from their brand new trading card line. Y'all see we got the Swordsman, aka the Get It Back in Blood crew, and then a personal one of the man himself. And each card does come with a wooden kickstand as well as a certificate of authenticity. And then it looks like we got some stickers, credit card skin, as well as some mini posters, this one with the name of the website on it. And now for the biggest surprise of the bunch, Blerd's Eye View, Station, and BNN are proud to be the platform to present to you an official collaboration between Virus Graphics and RDC World. Captain, if you could be so kind. What I hold here is the official RDC World 1 LSD collection trading card. And it does come in a gold and silver variant. Talk to the man in charge and there's only 10,000 each. And the fact that me and Celestial CJ both have one means there's now one less of both. Now if you want your own, you gotta go to lsdcollections.com, hit the trading card tab, and copy yours while you still can. Again, big shout out to Ozzy and RDC. Appreciate y'all boys sending this over.
Blerd's Eye View is a proud affiliate of Otaku Noir. Use the code Blerd's Eye View for 10% off on all items. With a different nerd-themed box filled with items made by talented blerds across the country, you surely will not be disappointed. Go to otakunoir.com. Otaku Noir, the #1 Blerd mystery box company.
I'm Tony Weaver Jr., author of Weirdo and player of Magic the Gathering, and you are watching Blerd's Eye View.
That's right. We got news. We got news today. I don't know why this one gets me excited, but everyone's favorite CTU counter-terrorist agent is coming back as a film. No details yet. Who am I talking about? Jack Bauer.
Oh, no way. Let's go.
Jack Bauer, played by Kiefer Sutherland, is coming back. They're doing it as a film, which will be interesting because I want to see how this plays out, because 24 played out over 24 episodes, which was an hour an episode. So I like to see how this is going to play out in the theatrical version.
Are they bringing it back from that last revival?
I believe so.
Because right now, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's in China.
Yeah.
Jack
he's in China.
Jack always has a way. Jack always has a way.
But I don't know how, because that ended really bad for him.
It did. I was a bit upset.
Hey, if they can give us multiple Bourne Legacy movies, they can figure out how to get Jack out of China.
That part. Let's go.
Jack has quite a few run-ins. I was a bit upset. Even my wife said, he's like, really? I'm like, he's going to get out. He's Jack. I don't know how.
Faithful
it's that Goku. Well, let's be honest, it's that Goku level plot armor. He gonna find. It's gonna be out there.
Oh, that's a fact.
That first season of 24, boy, if y'all have never seen that show was so groundbreaking because no one had ever done this where the clock was exact. Every episode was exactly an hour. So there was no, hey, let's jump to 2 months later, 2 weeks later. No, you got it from this following take place from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m.
6 p.m. That's right. It was that one day. And of course they gave us Dennis Haysbert. I don't know.
Yeah, Haysbert.
Dennis Haysbert.
Haysbert.
Our president. Hashtag my president.
Yes. And his brother being president too. Let's go.
You said what's word?
I was gonna say the All-State guy / God.
Like that part.
He was the president before President Obama was the president. Like
that part.
He literally was the president before president. Like he was like, did you foretell this? It was like, yo, like just about everything. Like everything. Bring it back. We need to know what's going on. Come on. So in DC, in the DC world, DC Universe is coming across now the Absolute Universe, which is coming up soon. It's a dark place where heroes will be the underdogs in the fight against evil. Some of the looks that they have are almost amalgamation between classic and modern.
Yeah. Absolute Power is shaping up to be in a dope ass storyline. Good gosh, DC, they did it right this time, I think.
I'm so nervous.
That Wonder Woman looks boss as hell.
Right? No, that's Superman that knows he ain't bulletproof anymore.
Yeah. That's Superman. That's Superman with the body. That's Superman with the body cam turned off.
Yeah.
This is how you look when you get shot in the chest. You fall.
I'm like, yo, this. I mean, I'm just the visuals alone, man. That like these some good visuals.
I'm just questioning how Wonder Woman has a Maori tattoo. Just.
I mean, it could be a different. It could be a totally different origin.
I think I try to say. I didn't try to say Themyscira and
like the Polynesian. Yeah. Oh, it's a good. I mean, it's
possible.
And yet she's writing a nightmare creature.
I mean, if that's the case, they might want to give her a little thicker thigh, but you know.
Right.
I'm saying though
that ain't gonna happen.
The nightmare Pegasus.
It's a great freaking look. I love it. I love it. No, I do. It's when
I'm talking about ladies. I would love to ride on. I said, yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Pick the one ride to get to work. Imagine parking that thing.
You will scare every child. Every child. What'd you name her? Sprinkles.
I would do some shit like that, or something like Jar Jar or something. I don't know.
Oh
Skittles.
Oh, Skittles.
Skittles. Oh my gosh.
Taste the rainbow.
I'll think about it for Lady Mandalorian called Steak and Cocaine. There we go.
Stop.
Oh my God. So, and this is something else. This is something else we've all been looking forward to. So, we're going to be doing a reaction today before we really get into it. But the second trailer for Beetlejuice dropped.
All right.
When you're all driving carpool and
begging
Pilates instructors to fill the empty voids in your life, we'll see who gets the last laugh. My mom grew up here, that old house on the hill.
Wait, the ghost house? Is your mom Lydia Dietz?
Unfortunately.
She's a legend.
The living, the dead. Can they coexist?
Now's my chance.
Ghosts aren't real. Only gullible people believe that kind of crap. I can't stop doing this. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I need you to help me save my daughter. But how do I know that you're going to keep your word?
I swear on my dead mother's soul. Days. Bob, you and the boys stand guard. Nobody gets through. Let's go, honey.
Recognize this post.
I've never seen that shit before in my life or afterlife.
We doing this?
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. I'm gonna eat it upstairs. Bob, hold down the fort. Spill your guts. Who wants to go first? All right, I will. See, I'm willing to do the work.
Oh no.
Afterlife is so random.
You're that thing from my dream. Really more nightmare material.
Confronting the unknown, conquering your fears. There's nothing harder.
What the Thank you all for coming to this special occasion, but right now with like a little privacy.
Yo. Let's go.
I was on board. I was already on board. It's Michael Keaton. I was already on board.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And what I loved about that, they kept the spirit of the original one.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, you see some authentic callbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it doesn't sound like it's tacked on. Like, I love when they did the little thing with Lydia and her face or whatever, or even that they're pulling their noses, kind of like the way that they did it last time. I
know Bob is tired of having his name called during the whole movie. That's what it was like. Bob.
Look, we all know that Bob is a great henchman. We know that from Batman '89, which just so happens stars Michael Keaton, and also had a henchman named Bob. So
now I want to watch the original Batman. Now, just keep this one, Bob.
Do you not want to watch that though? It's good. It's just good. My man was wearing Jordans, modified,
black Jordans at that, and still has them, and still has
the energy. I'm with it. I am with it. The minute they announced it, he actually has it. Michael Keaton actually has it in his contract because in the original, he had 17 minutes of screen time.
Mm-hmm.
He had it in his contract. He said he would only do it if he had 17 minutes of screen time. But see, that's the thing. When you watch the original Beetlejuice, you think he's in the majority of the film. He's not.
Really?
Yeah, that's like Silence of the Lamb numbers. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It does make sense though. He really wasn't in that much. The first one. That's about right.
He doesn't show up until well into the second.
Like the second act. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
that's crazy.
And the fact that Lydia Dietz is calling on him, it was giving me the cartoon vibes.
Right?
Yeah.
It was giving me cartoon because it was just like, how'd you go from the movie to the cartoon? Like now they just palling around.
I'm trying to figure out how you gonna top the
toys
number.
That's why.
And they sold toys.
That was about toys. That wasn't about anything else.
As many things were during the 80s and 90s.
Right.
So here we are. Season finale of The Acolyte. Disclaimer. We do not hate Star Wars.
I don't hate Star Wars.
We don't like.
We hate Soul. That's
that. We don't like convoluted storylines. It was so. Here's our thing, and I think I speak for the crew when I say this. There was a story to be told. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In 8 episodes, practically 40-minute run each episode. Was the story told? Maybe in a too long of a form. As we know that it did open it up for a second season, but the way the pacing didn't portray that.
Okay.
Roundtable, let's go. Lady Mandalore.
I'd like to be the first hater and go on record
Go ahead.
I'd like to be the first to go on record as my gripe mainly is with Disney Plus and everybody that's trying to cram everything into an 8-episode, trying to cram everything into 8 episodes. 2 more episodes could have probably given us a better ending, fleshed out a couple of things, maybe. But I'm tired of it. It's like once you get to, my thing is when you get to episode 6 and you have a handful of questions, very unlikely it's going to be answered in 2 more episodes. And it leaves you
I wouldn't say,
really unsatisfied.
I wouldn't say 10 episodes. Me personally, I wouldn't say 10 episodes. I would say a full 60-minute episode. Don't give me a timer and it says 44, 47 minutes, and 5 to 8 of those minutes are credits.
That's the credits.
Give me the hour episode so you can tell a little bit more of the story. Maybe the 8 will be better told that way, but I don't know. Lady Mandalore?
Yeah, no. I don't appreciate what they did at all. Actors, stunt work, lightsaber work, flawless. Gorgeous, beautiful. What the fuck is up with the story? What was the point? What was the point of it?
I got a question.
I guess to introduce Darth Plagueis in the
Thank
most
you.
backward,
but they did it
last minute way possible.
But is that who was supposed to be the dude in the shadow?
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
That shit. Ain't no fucking way you telling me that's who the fuck that.
That's who this is setting the tone for that conversation between Anakin and the Chancellor about how Darth Plagueis found how to mitigate with the midichlorians or whatever the case may be. This is what that was
from a
Jedi. Especially because you have the 2 of them supposed to be one person, and you didn't even get a proper explanation or any explanation for that. Okay, yeah.
This show should have been 4 episodes. Who is Osha? Osha has a sister. Who is teaching Osha's sister? How did these 2 come to be? What's next? This needed to be 4 episodes.
That third question is so mind-blowing how they did not explore that.
Nope.
And now if you think of it as a duology, so if they even get a second season, because I don't think they are,
they'll get a second one.
They'll get a second.
They let so much happen that they should. But with that being said, it's gonna rush through their origin. Okay, if you keep with the timeline, then both Osha and
May.
Asian Zaddy, I forgot his name.
Soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not Soul. No.
Milo Ren.
Smile Ren.
Oh yeah, come here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come here. Yeah, that's his name.
They're not going to be long for this world because then you have to introduce hopefully the Chancellor.
Yeah. So I gotta ask this question to the Star Wars people on this one because, and maybe because I was blinking out during this episode, but what was the whole thing surrounding that one Jedi to the point to where they went after him? Like it was almost like
you're talking about Torben.
Yeah, there were 4.
Torben, the Padawan, aka the new Jedi.
Oh, the Lannister.
They were.
The kid from the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he was the second one.
Oh, he was the weak link.
Yeah, he was the weakest out of all of them.
He was the weak link.
Yeah.
That's his motivation was I'm homesick.
Okay.
And when they go home,
he was a weak link. He flew like a lawn chair, but still.
Definitely did. It wasn't the same ever since when he had a black girl in his head.
I mean, the ninth sister only had him for 2 seconds, and immediately he's like,
"That's all she needed."
I mean,
I had to do a Lady Mandalore laugh on that one. It's like,
I mean, it was a sister, and it was Jodie Turner-Smith, so I can see why he folded. I'll allow it.
The flesh is weak.
The flesh is weak. She's in my head, master.
It left him not talking for years. It's all good.
She threw it on him. In a different form, I'm saying.
Some other questions.
In a circle.
Literally in a circle. Let's go.
So
no ass was hurt during the making of that scene, ladies and gentlemen.
I will say this. I will say this. There were some very interesting moments, and like Lady Mandalore said, lightsaber duels and everything else, beautiful, absolutely beautiful,
phenomenal.
People are griping about canon, and let me be the one to say this.
Can I say it with you?
Go ahead.
Shut the fuck up.
Thank you.
That part.
I don't know a damn thing. Mind your business.
Because here's the thing: you have a massive universe of history in this world, and as we know in reality, the history that you thought you knew often changes because things are discovered.
Right.
This happens.
I'm so sorry. Finish. I'm sorry.
So when you say, "Oh," I'll use a perfect example. When you were younger, you were told Christopher Columbus discovered America. Unless you were open-minded, like certain individual that's speaking right now, and knew that could not have been true if Native Americans were already living here. So it's not until later they say, "Oh no, this dude, he was doing things he had no business. He was lost," and that came years later. So here we are in the Star Wars universe, and you say, "No, but this is supposed to happen, and the Sith didn't exist, and this happened," that you know of.
Right.
But also there are so many not so many like it's dozens, but there are so many authors with so many different interpretations of what the Force is, who should be canon, and what character is who and attached to this one. It's gone. Let it go. Be grateful that they're incorporating any of the shit from any of those authors into this universe. Because y'all, we were dry for ideas. Okay, wasn't nothing coming out of these goddamn heads, executives' brains that was gonna make any of this universe look beneficial. Y'all better be fucking grateful that Filoni signed back up on board. I don't know what they did. I don't know how George got re-involved. Y'all need to watch your mouths. Watch your mouth.
Can I say that once upon a time, and maybe someone will agree with me, when it comes to the imagination, you want to enrich that and nourish that. And Star Wars was something that planted that seed for a lot of future writers, artists, creators, and things like that. So when you see people come in talking about it's not canon, I look at you and say, so what are you lending to the creative process other than being a bitch? What are you offering to the argument instead of being a little fuckhead? Because all you're doing right now is lending your little bullshit theories when you're still sitting in the same bowl of cereal in front of you that you have for 20 years because you don't know how to move. You don't know how to create, but you want to get mad because the lightsaber color is different from this one. How about this? Put on some clean clothes, shut the fuck up, and leave the rest of us alone.
Sick of y'all shit.
Take a shower
The
first.
fact that somebody actually, the fact that someone actually, the fact that someone actually cried about the kyber crystal, I said, you do know how this works, right? Like it bleeds when you give out negative emotion. That's what it does.
Now
it
wait,
actually happened in the video game too, Survivor.
Okay. Yep. See, okay, so here we are.
So
there are my canon for the fucking kyber crystal is that it's synthetic. That's my canon. It's not even about the energy from the Force. It's red because they can't duplicate what happens naturally in the universe.
Right.
That's so there's already 3 different ways you can have a red. Y'all gotta breathe a little bit. You ain't gonna get every part from the legends into canon. Y'all gotta learn how to work with one another.
And this is why they had when I'm speaking in terms of the writers or whoever, director, whoever. This is why this is why when they started this whole thing with Star Wars, when Disney came in on board, got the IP and everything, they said they took everything off the board. They had to. They had to. And a lot of people didn't understand that. I'm like, that is a very deep and rich history of stuff. They have to take everything off the board. In order for they were like, let's take some of this, let's make it sense for story narrative and moving things forward.
Right.
Not saying it all works perfectly, but this is what they have to do. Now, in the case of this, I would have said, give me longer episodes that explain certain things. Some things just moved way too slow.
Right.
I don't care about
or glossed over and moved way too quickly.
Yeah, that part glossed over way too quick. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Now, and it didn't really give you, because we weren't sure if it was going to get a second season. We weren't sure if this was a one-shot season or anything. We didn't.
Right. I mean, we didn't. I mean, we really didn't know exactly. And this again comes from someone whose Star Wars knowledge is limited, and looking at this as if I'm watching for the first time. So I get where
honestly, Spartan, we're all watching this for the first time. This isn't.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is you have background knowledge. Like when you look at it, you're looking at it like, okay, how much are they including in it, and if they're going to be following, because you're not going to be one of those ones that's going to be like Navy said, the lightsaber is supposed to be red. Why is it hazel? You're not going to be one of those. Is what I'm getting at. But at the same time, when you're telling a story like this, like we saw from episodes 1 through 5, it's like, okay, you're telling the story of how these two came to be, what happened with the Night Sisters, why are they in hiding, and things of that nature. And then after episode 5, then 6, 7, 8 was like, what happened? It's like you started off strong, and then 3 episodes later, you're just like, so this is where we are. Okay.
Hailspawn, if you're watching or listening later, you're probably in bed right now. They are cops. He said it. He wasn't wrong.
But the way Soul just doubled down on his self-righteousness, I said, oh, and then the way that they swept that shit under the rug.
Oh,
quick
like, fast.
It is not 5.
Quick fast.
I don't get it.
What you mean?
Like he still has not come to terms with his emotions or his whole thing, his whole purpose about why he did what he did. And the fact, like you said, Lainey, the fact that they swept it under the rug
without a thought.
And yet the dark side is seen as evil.
But to me, that's
at least they're not gonna lie to you. I mean, at least they're not gonna lie to you.
Right.
A lot.
We'll even let you use the helmet so you can train yourself. We'll give you the Smile Ren helmet.
Tafari, what you got, Tafari?
Spirit of Magic helmet.
Mean, the lightsabers worked on unexplained Demon Slayer logic. I'm okay with that. So
I thought it was a cool added bonus.
It worked. I mean, I've seen the crystals, but I'm okay with it. But I kind of clocked the pacing. Like, what was it, like the 3rd or 4th episode? It's gonna be fights, backstory, fights, backstory, fights, backstory, rinse and repeat. End of this, I still don't know what the hell everyone wants. That's been my biggest thing. Like, what is the end goal here for anyone involved in this? Like the Jedi trying to duck the High Council that in outside investigation is strung together more than what I'm trying to. What is everyone's end goal here? Like, we erased one's memory, the other one is now they've just switched places basically.
Right.
And are we just gonna do this season in reverse next season?
That was a dumb that was a dumb move. I'm sorry.
I will say this. There is somebody I need to shout out. Dennis Harewood, the counselor.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Green Lantern.
Yeah.
He read them
John
for
Jones.
film. Yeah. John Jones. Yeah. He read them for filth.
Manhunter. My bad.
Yeah, he read them for filth. And I'm just like, it will be a brother do it. All right.
I saw him come in. I was like, boy, John Jones is dressing your ass down and you don't like it.
Read y'all for fucking
He was reading y'all the fucking Riot Act comic book, newspaper article, and the Sunday comics.
He said what he had to say. And then when it came to the and being in front of the whole council, he stood in the back like, told you.
I said when, not if.
I loved it when he stood before her and he said, "Good luck." She said, or as you Jedi say, was it, "May the Force be with you," and just walked away, still looking at her. I was like, "Oh, get it, let's go."
that was level of petty.
They had the cover story ready, like upon finding the body, and still gave him a Viking funeral.
Yeah, he seemed to have killed himself And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, just wait.
This is why I sit there and say, and yet the Sith are supposed to be the evil ones.
I'm like, wait. This seriously?
I'm just saying, corrupted Jedi. You literally lied to Osha.
You know,
even then, like it's like you can't feel emotions, so they cut him off before you could say that he loved them. But I'm like, you're literally not supposed to feel this at all. Like
you're just as corrupt. You're just as corrupt.
Our current republic died. Our current republic died because one guy got laid. Like, have we not? I get we're just doing the. That's Star Wars in a nutshell. Just
whoopsie.
I mean, if you think about it, if they just sat there and said, "Do you want to have a family?" Yes, you would have saved everybody.
I would have been in.
Now, when he said he took truths and bent them, because when he said, "I tried to save you both," yeah, that's how it started, and then you clearly made a decision.
In the back of his mind, I want a Padawan. I want a Padawan.
That was not a decision to make.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's be real about this. He was looking at Osha straight on from jump. When he peeked that ass around the corner from that tree, it was all about Osha. He was not trying to look for both.
Because they were. He was just like, there's a virgin here on this planet. We can't find it anywhere, but because we've been here. How long were they there? They were like there for several weeks.
Several weeks.
Yeah.
So it was like, and we can't find it. And then here it is. He see these kids, and he senses something. He's like, I'll take one of them.
Whoops.
Right.
Kill
became obsessed.
My bad.
Yeah, the instant obsession is what got me. And
thank you.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was weird.
Like if you were to tell me that, if you were to tell me they did recon, left according to their orders, and followed them for months, and then it got weird, and he was like, "I made a rash decision." Cool. He literally just walked in. He walked in, and it was like on some prior to everything. Like prior to everything getting cleared, he was on like some Neverland Ranch behavior. Like
it gave pedo vibes.
And on
when
top,
Dark
on top
kept
of
telling
that,
him
like,
no, he hated it. When the Dark kept telling him no, it's like, we're going to the council. No, bullshit. I'm going to go find him myself. I'm going to go find and see what's going on.
I'm sorry, with your Irish accent?
No, my dear. That's just an Irish accent right there. No.
No, that would be more Scotland.
Okay, Scotland.
No, that's Scotland. No, that's Scotland. Don't do that, lad. No, this is Scotland right here.
They're more blunt centered than their tongue is in the front of their mouths.
The problem with them is tongue in the mouth. They don't know how to eat.
So I guess between the cameos, no young Yoda yet. I was hoping for that. Kiadi Moody.
Oh, that was bullshit.
Kiadi Moody.
That
they
was
showed the back of Yoda's head, and that was it.
Did that? Y'all are catching stuff I missed. I didn't even see old boy at the end.
No,
yeah.
It was literally.
You didn't wait long enough. It was right at the very end.
I can't think of her character's name, but Leslie Headland is the actress. Is that her name?
VER something. I can't remember her name either.
But that's when you find out. That's when you find out Kamir. That's when you find out Kamir was her student, her failed student at that.
I lost respect for him after the end of the episode. It was like, okay, so this ain't a cool helmet, bitch. You trying to hide. The second he was like, I need this back now.
No, it's like a Magneto helmet.
Still, with the one person you trying to hide from, clearly, okay, so this isn't about looking cool to mutant kind. You trying to hide from Charles. That's
that was the
bald head and all.
Yeah, that's who he's. Yeah, that's what it was. It wasn't about. Was he good in tapping into the Force using that helmet? Yes, but it had a double feature, and it was keeping himself hidden. Because that was even when he fought all the Jedi, he said that he's like, no, I can't leave anybody alive. So now the question is, one, why did you go bad?
He does it. He explains that. He explains that because he's like he was feeling a lot of these different things that the Jedi was like, this is not normal for you to feel as a Jedi. And he was like, nah, I want to be able to tap into those feelings. I want to be able to tap into this power. And you keep on telling me that I'm wrong for that.
It's Anakin. It's Anakin.
This is true. This is true. You know, but they do explain that.
Yeah.
I love how they sit there and say emotions lead to the dark side. So
yeah, because you keep telling me
what
no.
up, Trey?
So the Jedi have repressed
He
emotions.
was just like,
what up, homie?
Do your force training in this cool helmet, and then Green Mom shows up and is like, well, shit, turn it off, bitch. I need that back. Like his whole cool points went out the window. He was like, I ain't doing this shit again. And just like,
But I will.
Like
I
you were
will
ready to
say
fight
this.
everyone else. You were ready to fight everyone else. When she pulled up, it was like, I need to go and find my corner immediately.
Right.
Training over. You on
He
your
was scared.
But I will say this about the show. I love the fact that the fight scenes have evolved.
Oh
yeah.
That's the one. If there's a silver lining we can say about this, the fight scenes have evolved.
And even how they use the force.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not just the fight scenes, but on the evolution of the force. Now that is something I do like. Like I remember even when Rey was kind of healing or whatever, like you're trying to push the thought process of what the force can do forward, and not just about it just being that you can call something and you can Jedi mind trick. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with that. Huh?
I just said Akio Broom.
Oh,
with the force pull.
I love you for that, Nicole.
Yeah.
This is why I keep saying they need to bring back Force Unleashed, because everybody was using it in different ways and like damn near every boss fight.
Yeah. And nobody complained about that shit. Nobody.
Shock T.
That's why I don't. That's why I don't worry about how they're using the force. There's it's like martial arts. You have blocks, you have punches, you have strikes.
Yeah,
it's how you do it. How Jet Li does it is different from Jackie Chan, and how Jackie Chan is different from how Donnie Yen does it, and it's different from Michael Jai White. However, you still getting hit. I'm just saying.
Force in the first prequel movie, and then we just never used that again.
Right.
I had a thought, and I think the thought in my head is better than their writing, so this is probably not going to happen. My thought process is that what's this man's name? Khmer does know Darth Plagueis, obviously because of the island. He had to put the helmet back on to keep Vernesta from reading probing into his thoughts and finding Plagueis.
Good idea.
That's my thought.
Good idea.
But again, my thoughts are better than the writing, so
it was once again.
So would you say Obito until the mask came off, even though he's like, that can't make me sweat, until his sensei pulls up and stabs him in the spine.
Also, Donnie is gonna touch you 11 times. It's about
right,
and only get touched twice the whole movie.
You can't hurt me no more. Fuck.
So Lady Mandalore, I got a question. Would you think it's more the issue with this show for us is more along the lines of how the writing was paced? Because it
no. I thought you had something else to say to counter that. No. The writing with the show felt fumbled. It felt like they started off strong. They had a great opening, but they didn't know how to
punch the landing,
keep the plate full. If that makes sense. There's no dessert. There's barely a main course. The appetizers were shit though. You know what I mean? Them little pigs in a blanket. Yeah, they was hitting for a little bit, but I'm hungry, bitch. I'm hungry. I'm not here for appetizers. I'm here for the whole meal. If you're gonna give me 8-course meal, I want all 8 of them courses. I want to be my guy in the bear. I want to be.
You don't need to be here, and then you drop me. Like no. I'm not
here for that. And
like if you keep going up, you need to keep going up. You need to punch it.
You not all. If you give me a nice smooth landing, that dessert could be a little something foam or whatever, a little sweet treat at the end. It don't have to be a big ass piece of cake. I'm full from the meal already. Just give me a little something, a little Hershey kiss out the door.
That would have made the ending that Yoda revealed. That would have made that ending that much sweeter.
Yoda should have been in this series.
Yoda could have down like Kiadi Mundi was just there because what was the
I missed that. No, I don't agree.
Oh,
You don't think he
You
should have
know, you
been
know
there?
me. I actually really
No,
like
I'm
them
saying like I
try
was
to
hoping to see more Jedi who we know live long lives because of how long their race lives. So
Mhm.
now the fact that we only got one, it's like, and Kiadi Mundi's here for some reason. The one person who specifically said there hasn't been a Sith for a millennia, which now you just open up a can of worms just because. If you were telling me that like you're showing other past Jedi who've been around to kind of, hey, they were here for this situation or just fun cameos, cool. But it was just Kiadi.
Well,
unless it's one of them unless it's one of those situations where once again it goes back to the history. According to history, which is probably what he should have said. According to history, there hasn't been a Sith in millennia.
Well, the way that they make this go right now, it's not. You know what I mean? I don't know. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't even know if they called them that.
They didn't. They actually didn't.
So I was about to say, so if you're even talking about from a technical standpoint, they did it. If you're talking about from non-technical standpoint, outside of the word Sith, I don't know if they know what to call it. You know what I mean? They just might be like, "Oh, this is Rogue Jedi," especially because you
even
only
Kamir
have
said it.
really
Even
one
Kamir
person.
said it. Kamir even said it. He was like, "What did you call them, Sith?" So even he didn't know, unless he was just teasing. But still.
So at this point, you don't have that. I just really thought that this was actually going to be the beginning of their version of Rule 2. That's what I really thought that this was going to be about. And so, and I would have actually walked away a little bit satisfied without Plagueis.
Yeah.
Because once you bring in Plagueis, now you're bringing in all that history of what that can mean. And it's like, this kind of don't make sense now. You kind of just... too much.
My other thought is that if they are really 10 toes down and keeping this a secret, then him saying that we haven't seen them in a millennia is accurate.
That was kind of what I felt like was the retcon, but it just felt weird to have like, because I didn't catch the Yoda thing to my second watch, but even then to just have specifically only him out of all of our old living races, it just felt like, by the way, he's also here.
Fan service.
That
part.
felt like
fan
service, but it's just like which course of dinner are we at here? Dinner, lunch, dessert, brunch, dinner. Where are we? I'm not angry at the meal. I just don't know if we're eating it at the right time.
You're right, Kevin. You're right, Kevin. Kevin Davis says Star Wars renewed Andor and Ahsoka for season 2, and they didn't have blockbuster viewership. They didn't. But on Disney Plus, it was.
This was vitriolic.
Like Ahsoka, I was expecting the second season because we were invested anyway. Andor was the one I was like, oh, I didn't think they were going to give it a second season, considering the fact we know what happens.
Right.
So that was the surprise platter, but whatever.
They also opened up way too much in Ahsoka for them not to give a second season.
Yeah,
I feel like
you
they all
can't
got this
open up a
point.
live action Thrawn and not give us a second season.
Yeah,
I feel like they all got this memo, like go completely insane on your middle episode and then just do what you need to do from there. Because middle episode of this, episode 5 of Ahsoka, which was like just Clone Wars on steroids.
Yeah, they give you that look at Netflix Daredevil episode 5. Both all seasons. Episode 5, something major happens.
Yeah.
So
Game of Thrones too.
Yeah.
Which one?
Game of Thrones.
Always five is always the magical number for whatever is going to be the pivotal moment.
Yeah, especially when it's a short run season, like short episode type season. Yeah.
So with Marvel, episode 3 is always a hallway scene.
I'm still confused about the Coven because like. Are we just, is the conclusion that they were just going to have terrible parents regardless of who they got left with? What was even their plan? You can stab Smoke, apparently, because I thought she was just going to phase away and be like,
she should have. She was going to go over to.
And why does canceling the chant kill everybody? Like,
But see, I think to your question, first of all, we didn't get so much about them for you to even say that they're going to be bad parents, not you specifically, but just the assumption that they're going to be bad parents. Because like one thing that annoyed me was that Soul was just dead on like, I'm rescuing them. You're rescuing them from what though? You have
because
no
there was no other than the training that he's seen, which by design is not brutal. There was no.
You
it wasn't
did not
brutal.
know what they were training them for. You have no idea what threat they might have been under, and as to why that this might have been something for survival. So therefore, you're going in very, very blind. So you're making us the viewers to make it seem as if these women are bad, when in fact we have no idea what they were about, and they didn't even bother giving us that information.
But
no, go ahead.
The what is her name? The mother. Jesus, I'm sorry.
Jodie Turner Smith.
Yes, her. She explained it. It's about power. The Jedi don't know how to wield that power, and for them over there to have it at all, y'all making Force babies over. Oh, wait a minute.
You
can't have that.
You're
Cannot
right.
have that at all.
In the words of comedic poet Carlos Miller, quit touching shit.
Yeah.
That stops literally what you were told, literally stops everything that happened.
That part, Nicole.
From the time he discovered them in the forest and
I'm
tracked
leaving
all
that
the way
one up
back.
for a while
Yeah.
because that is the parallels to Europeans coming across Native American people. Look at that.
That's
fact.
I would have taken a
look at
backstory of the Coven having to run from them before and given reasons why. Like,
I would tell you the minute Inara told Soul, and they were joking. She was joking about it, but he took it seriously. That's why you don't have a Padawan. I said, this is where that shit started.
Thank you, Vern.
That's where it started, because the minute he saw them in the forest, he just went on straight stalker mode. And I said, oh, here we go. So now I don't like your ass because you went all the way to where they're at. They weren't fucking with nobody. They were doing their own thing. You got your feelings hurt because you're not a master with a Padawan. And here's a master with a Padawan. And you got, all of a sudden your nuts all shriveled up. I'm going to get her. I will save her. So now that's the excuse he used in order to infiltrate. And I just like, wow, bro. Wow.
And her
Now,
Padawan was a menace.
Yeah. Now, exactly. Now, I will say this for the twins, which we find out aren't really twins. Their parentage dynamic is a mirror image of how the girls act.
Yes.
When you have, because the other mother, she was, I'm like, dial it down, chill.
It fits with what we know of that race. We see in the media and Star Wars media for that race of people. They're a little aggro. Doesn't mean that she didn't care any less. She carried those kids. She may seem a little aggro to us, but to her, she's mama bearing her kids.
Oh, yeah. She was mama bearing the hell out them kids.
Yeah.
She's mama
she
bearing
was
her
like,
kids.
she was like anger. I'm like, Karen, bring it down. It's
and what you call it saw that as those girls are in danger. It's just
no, she was getting them ready for a Jedi-filled universe where y'all go around being cops to everything you don't understand. So
now, what I will say is that whole entire event was seriously a series of unfortunate events. That's what that boiled down to. It was just like, you shouldn't have been there, you shouldn't have started the fire, and you should have minded your business. That's what that boy like. Nobody told you to run off to do nothing. Nobody told you to run off to do anything, and you shouldn't have been there in the first damn place.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what, Lemony Snicket came in my head. I was like, oh man, only thing is missing are the Baudelaires. Just go and get in the middle of shit.
Baudelaires, the orphans.
Just get in the middle of shit. That's all.
And that's as I was watching that episode of how that whole thing unfolded, I'm like, he should have kept his. Nobody told Torben to run off. He should have not even moved.
Exactly. And when they go home,
May should have checked her guys. May should have been checked in, because that whole starting the fire thing, it was like, you dealing with stuff you ain't got no business. So you're at fault too.
Firebug.
Yeah, Firebug.
To be fair, her mother got her all hyped up and mad and just said, shh, go ahead. create chaos. I'm like, you
Right.
should have got your ass kicked for that stupid
You know,
shit.
there was that, and then Soul going after Torben, and everybody going after Torben. It was just like, you should have snatched his. I get it. You went after him to like, yo, get your ass back in the car. You know, we but then you still were there because now other stuff didn't happen. Other things has gone down, and now you have to do something.
Right.
You know, but had you not been there being nosy.
So can someone explain one thing to me? When Torben took off, why didn't Indara take her ass and go after her Padawan and leave Soul behind? That was like, he's not Soul's responsibility.
Right.
You're his master.
Right.
Why did you send another master off after your Padawan? I was like, this is some stupid shit. You knew he was unstable.
Yeah.
You made a crazy man after an insane boy. Meanwhile, we're still at the camp. Everything is safe. Oh, call the council.
You hear the Wookiee is just like, these motherfuckers.
Yo,
The Wookiee was
he was the blackest Jedi in the whole thing.
Like,
busy.
I got it. Now I gotta do something. God dog. That was his whole vibe. He was like,
I was perfectly fine by this fire. Now I gotta do some shit.
Blonde head boy. He's like, I done told y'all about this little blonde head boy. I told y'all. You don't want to hear me, so whatever.
Told you he was softer than baby powder, but yet y'all one.
Force powers, magic kids, OSHA's mom, she's dead. We didn't start the fire.
Lord.
That was a nice freestyle, real quick.
My crew, everybody.
Bravo, sir. Bravo.
Was the evil twin who's not the good one then?
That I kind of seen that coming.
I feel like they're gonna magically put her memory back. Like, sit her with Yoda for an hour. By the way, they're over there.
Yeah. I kind of seen that one coming when I'm like, when May decides to pose as OSHA. And
all the way down to Pip.
Yeah, all the way down to Pip. I'm like, oh, so you rebooted Pip, so Pip just gonna follow you, and so because Pip don't know shit anymore.
No, it's like Pip, squirt her in the eye. Oh, nigga, okay.
Like, so this whole, I'm like, so they're switching sides, and I kind of seen that coming. I didn't really like that.
I'm glad they did though.
I'm like, it was too. I don't know if it was because it was too predictable, or if it just didn't sit right.
What was the need? What was the need?
The reason why I say is because we always have basically light characters stay light and dark characters stay dark. I hear what you're saying, Kara. I kind of agree with it in a sense, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I do like the fact that you actually had a light character go dark, and I hope that
that would have been fine. That would have been fine, but it was just like you have the light character go dark, and now what? The dark character is gonna go light. And I'm like, and now that we know that they're,
it would be nice if they actually write her out the show. Just let her go, and actually focus on OSHA.
But this isn't even the first time that this has happened. It happened in Obi-Wan when we had the Night Sister be like, "Oh shit, maybe I'm not on the right fucking side," and she runs off some fucking where. We had it happen with Anakin. Who else did it happen to? It's happened to.
But did they stay?
Ventress.
Yeah, but did they stay that way? Like even Ventress, I actually like her part because her arc was very personal, and I understood the push and pull, right? Mm-hmm. But did they stay that way on that trajectory? That's the thing. They never stick to a staying part. They always either have them go back and forth, or just stay. And I'm just like, I want to see someone who is supposed to be projected to be light go dark and stay that way.
Mm-hmm.
You have not seen me personally. I have not seen that, and so that's why I'm like, I don't.
I think it's sort of like she went dark, but for what? Literally, everyone who accosted you was dead. So, like, what purpose do you have right now?
I mean, is it because me personally, I think they did a poor way of portraying the fact that one, they're not really twins. They're one of the same quote unquote person.
Right.
Well, there's a little rhyme.
A clone, if you will.
Basically, yeah.
They had their little rhyme.
I choose the word glimmer.
But did this, when you hear about the virgins, and then you think about Osha and May, and then you think about how Anakin came to be, and then you think about Luke and Leia.
You start to wonder. You start to wonder if the Force made some improper decisions.
Because how often did they say Anakin was the one to bring balance to the Force? Anakin's the one to bring balance to the Force. Anakin's the one to bring balance to the Force. Technically, he did.
Yeah.
Right.
By having Luke and Leia.
Right.
So is
Lainey's face is all crunchy right now.
Would
Because when you
Luke,
say by having Luke and Leia, I mean,
but would Luke
I
and
just don't agree with that.
would Luke and Leia be considered part of the virgins?
No,
No.
They're
You don't
both
think?
on the side of light. No.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
So they have to
And
be.
they were also
one
naturally
dark, one-
conceived.
Although
Yeah, and they didn't
in
split
Luke's case,
in their
that
Yeah.
we've seen in that we've seen.
Right.
Anyway, Luke has battled that line. He hasn't gone dark, but he has seen that vision of him being so.
Oh yeah, all Jedi are tempted. So the question is, which side line you're going to stand on? You're going to stay on this side, or you're going to jump to the other side? You're going to dress like a nerd. You're going to look like a cool ninja. Choice is yours. Which one?
Well, Jedi's are always tempted. Sith are always assured.
So would you say, okay, I'm gonna go further. The fact that we know how Anakin was created,
Do we?
or it's been implied.
Speculation for years.
Speculation and implication.
Immaculate
There we go.
conception.
Immaculate conception. Can we say false accusations? Can we say that maybe Anakin
I was going to hell.
was maybe part of the virgins?
Well, they said it. Isn't that implied?
No, it's basically stated.
Yeah.
I mean,
in the way that he was in the way that he
You know,
was
wait, you're not even sure. It's like it's stated.
I mean,
He sees something.
who's not to say Anakin's mom didn't spend time as a night sister? That's all I'm saying. Who's not to say she didn't spend some time with a coven?
Lord
I
have
mean, you could
mercy.
easily make her Kenny's mom from South Park. I never should have hung out with that cult that summer.
Oh shit! But that's the joy of Star Wars, because there are a lot of gaps in storytelling.
Now, see this, that's the part of it that I love, because
it
it
lends
makes
to
you
the
thinking.
imagination. You know, it's always a discussion somewhere. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? It's just the purists who drive the whole conversation nuts because you want it to be fact. No, imagination isn't fact. Imagination will always be abstract. It's always an idea. It's always a concept. So, and that's what makes it fun.
Meanwhile, the stormtroopers are like, at least we know certain shit.
I know who my daddy is.
He's your daddy. No, he's not. Oh wait, he is.
I don't.
I always want a stormtrooper say it to a Jedi. I know who my daddy is.
Right. So I want to say this. I
Father's Day.
Overall performance of the Acolyte on a scale of 1 to 10. Overall performance, storytelling, pacing, action, and let's just say sticking the landing. Navy, we'll start with you.
Honestly, I give it a 7.
Okay.
I give it a 7 because
across the board, 7 across
the board, because the acting phenomenal. But I agree with what Lady Mandalore said. They stumbled on the pace. They stumbled on the story. In the beginning, it was great. You were introducing these characters. But when you got to a certain point where you could simply make it worthwhile, you stumbled. You tripped and fell. And then you tried to come back up to throw in a fight scene. You had it right there. So it's still the potential of something great coming from it. But I'm not going to give it 10. I'm not going to give it 10. This is a 7 at best. 5 at worst.
5 at worst. Okay, Lainey.
So I'm gonna go the middle of Navy. I'm gonna say 6. I kind of thought it has been. I don't think it's a total failure. To your point, I think the best thing that for me I enjoyed actually was seeing full-throatedly that the Jedi ain't shit. I liked that because once again, you are now mirroring reality. You know that you can't. They're not pious. They're not all great. Okay, and if you did not realize that with Samuel L., I love what he did. I know why he did it, but
he was about the
fact that he
closest
was just
thing.
like, all right, I'm gonna take it in own in. I kind of understood why Anakin did what he did.
Yeah,
but you know, it is what it is.
But in Mace's defense, he was just like, look, I gotta take a motherfucker out. Y'all not listening.
I understand, but at the same time,
all you have to
really
do is stand right here.
Arguments that these are supposed to be the people of law and order. All right, then. With that being said, like I said, I give it a 6. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't that horrible, but it wasn't great either.
Got it. Whoopty.
Same boat as Lainey. I'm going to give it a solid 6 for practically the same reasons. It wasn't great. The pacing could have been a lot better. There were a couple things that were flat out predictable for me. I can't speak for other people, but at a certain point, I could kind of sort of see what they were going to do with a couple things. But other than that, you know, I'll watch season 2, and I'm sure other people will with hate in their heart, but who knows?
They will.
This could become something else.
Okay.
It could. I'm not holding
definitely.
I don't have high hopes, but I'll watch it.
Okay, Lady Mandalore.
Girl, we only got so much time now.
There you go. You're done muting yourself.
You're muted. You're muted.
You so focused. You didn't
realize
realize you muted.
I didn't hit fucking thing. Anyway.
She had a hot 32 ready.
Listen, look, if they did not have the lovely, illustrious, shining example of Black excellence, Miss Joni Turner Smith, I'd have turned that shit off a minute in. This would, if without the battle scenes, Jodie Turner Smith, and Amanda Stenberg, this would have been a 4. I would have, without question, given this a 4.
That's fair. That is fair.
Wow.
That is very fair. I get that.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What about Manny?
Oh no! Wait, hold on. No, that nigga needs his own show. He needs his own show. I need a show with him. I'm not even. Can you make me understand how I forgot about that man, because he had his own show for me in that moment, getting in and coming out the water. I forgot that he was even in this thing. He did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong at all. Okay, he is not a factor in this. He is above reproach in my opinion.
Not above reproach.
Do you need a moment? Do you need a moment to yourself?
Right.
I have taken several. I will absolutely. Woo, that man make me hot. I a 6. The show is
It's a 6. Okay.
6-9 for Manny, but that's it. All right.
It's far.
Gotcha.
I feel like a 6.5, just because I feel like, again, I kind of clocked the pacing early on, and I feel like for the episodes of backstory, I was left with more questions than answers.
Kuma, what's going on, Kuma?
What up, nephew?
And I thought this was going to be a story. I was like, all right, you can't have any witnesses, so it stays out of the history books, only to find out it's getting a season 2. So it's like, I like Jordan Jecki. Why did we just throw them away like they were nobody?
I hated that.
Right.
Yeah, that was such shit. I'm sorry. I didn't like Yord, but damn.
They're gonna come back to their names just now. I couldn't. Like, they've been gone so long. It's like, damn. I thought they were gonna be important characters. Apparently not. Like, not memory, Force Ghost, nothing.
We had Red Shirt Jedi.
Jecki for the win, because Jesus, I'm like, y'all didn't train X-23 for this.
Right.
Only to knock her off.
At the end, on top of that.
And then the Coven just left me with questions I'm never getting answered, because they all just got whatever the cult is that drank the.
They could have had their own show, even if it's
Right.
a series. They could have had their own show.
If you would have
talk about the Night Sisters and only give them a little bit of screen time.
next
That
season,
was crazy.
you were to tell me that these are like pre-early Night Sisters and they just got tired of it and went full dark, maybe, or if you show me a sister coven and what twins could have been, maybe. I might be a little bit nicer, but I left with a lot of stuff that I'm not even sure based on how the show carries itself. They'll answer next season.
They got Endard straight up. There's nothing you can do about that.
The Boys is great though. That happened.
I didn't watch that yet. I'm saving that.
I'm about to say, shut up.
Same. I haven't either.
That's gonna be my cherry on the top of the ice cream. Spartan, what do you grade?
Spartan, stop your fucking laughing, boy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Yo,
but you're
boy, if that's not
anxious.
if that's not a Lady Mandalore laugh with some bass in it, I don't know what it is.
I'm enjoying it. Right after this show, I'm going to watch The Boys.
I can't wait till all y'all catch up with that. I cannot wait.
And them last 5 minutes
are a lot.
I know.
I am loving it. Oh, anyway, let me shut up before I spoil stuff. Acolyte 5. That's all I can give it, because how dare you as someone who is getting introduced to this level of Star Wars, you start off great in 5 episodes. And I keep stressing that because it was a great 5 episodes. And then 6, 7, and 8, you decide to take a roulette wheel and then play Russian roulette, then play with the clown, then take a dartboard, and then somehow in the middle of episode 8, give us a whole lot of back shots in the back of the head. You bring in Yoda for 3 seconds.
Damn.
Yeah. I will say,
golly, I feel bad for the 7 I just gave.
I will say 6.5, maybe a high 6, 8.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I'm with Lady Mandalore on this one. The saving grace are the battle scenes and the acting.
Mm-hmm.
The battle scenes and the acting are the saving grace. Amanda Steinberg, you did your thing. Jodie Turner-Smith did your thing. Daphne Keene, you did your motherfucking thing. I'm highly upset. That one is out of everything, out of the entire series. That was the one that upset me the most. I'm like, that should not have happened, in my opinion.
Okay, wait.
Injury, yes.
Okay, wait.
But not a determination.
Wait, hold on. Scheduling conflicts. We have a Deadpool movie coming out.
Yes.
Scheduling conflicts. That's the only reason I will forgive them for getting rid of this child as soon.
Okay.
Come on now.
Oh no. I'm with you. When she said scheduling conflicts, I'm like, no, we took the show off for next week for Thursday.
No, not that scheduling conflict. The other scheduling conflict.
That makes sense. Okay. That if the payoff is what I think it is.
I will forgive only if that's the reason.
Don't get your hopes up high, because they want Endara to lie all that time. So don't get your hopes up high.
Just for Daphne Keene to get.
No, I understand that, but the fact she had to dodge like all of them. What I'm saying is she had to die like everybody else, because at the end of it, Homegirl was lying on everybody about what happened.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we are wrapping this bad boy up because I'm going to watch The Boys. I got to get my boys.
Wrap up protocol initiated, Captain. Hi.
Lady Mandalore, you are up.
Hello. It was great to see all of y'all, most of y'all, sorry. At Blerd Con. I miss y'all already. These lovely people. I love y'all. You can find me here on all socials except for the Spill app. Take out the 2 O's in room, and then you can find me. Okay, well, phenomenal actor. She only allowed show her chops in the finale. I mean, yeah, that is also true. You can find me on the internets with that, and Jesus wept. Roomful of Blerds is coming back later in August. You can catch that podcast of mine and Navy's on Sundays at Standard Time, but you can always look at the older episodes and be inspired by what we produced. I also do voice acting. I'm on TikTok. I have Talk Story to Me as part of my resume. I've got an IMDb page that I completely forget to talk about all the goddamn time. Words is
I want
trademarked.
to be like y'all when I grow up.
And yeah, I think oh, DreamCon. Coming to DreamCon. Next week. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yep, next week.
Next week I'm going to DreamCon, and I will meet all of you lovely people that are, near and by or flying into Texas. And I'm so tired.
Man, look.
But I love y'all. Okay, bye.
Look here. Whew. Laney.
Ooh, it's a nice storm. Out of the way. Yeah, look at it.
I got some more because, I think this might be a sweet spot so that I don't get kicked off. So I'm actually gonna kind of do some
decorate it.
Yeah, but anyway, I am Lainey. I am Geek by Heart. Me and my husband run Geek by Heart on YouTube. You can find us at IG, TikTok, and YouTube by Geek by Heart. We talk about movies. We talk about trailers. We talk about things that just make us happy. Along with some other talented people over here, right on blerdseyeView.org. I like to write about horror. There's a couple horror things coming out, so when I get some time, I'm gonna be going to it. So see us over there. And I'll echo Room Full of Blerds. BlerdCon was a jam. If I met y'all, it was all love. I hope to see y'all again soon. Y'all people. And again, I miss y'all.
It's such a blast, and I miss everybody. It sucks. That ride home was not pretty. me and Lady Mandalore literally got home the same amount of time.
Dude, 7 fucking hours to get home from Virginia? Why?
It took her 7. It took me 5. Or it took me 5, and I'm like 5.5, and I'm like,
you was doing like 90?
I know he was. I was 85. I know he was doing 90. Easy.
I own a TARDIS.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Truck is called the truck is called a Razor Crest. I named it Razor Crest. So, she do what she do. Go ahead, Whoopty.
What you freaking do? You can find me on TikTok and on Instagram at this address right here. When I'm not eating popcorn on air, I am also making nerdy nails at Fresh Press by Z. Oh, I don't know if you can see this.
Nice.
Oh, very nice.
We see it, girl. We see it.
Mm-hmm.
You owe me nails.
I do. I'm working on them. Maybe you need to get back to me.
Oh,
you're right.
Oh my god.
Unbelievable.
Navy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, blurs of all ages, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Once again, it is your frosty bearded Blerd here on the recovery from an amazing BlerdCon number 8. Y'all who came out, thank y'all for continuing to support us. It wasn't perfect. I know people are starting their AfterCon complaining and stuff, but guess what? It takes a lot to put on events like this. And we dedicated our time. I did not really get to enjoy everything like I liked, but I got to see my crew. I got to see all my people, and it was so dope. I couldn't have been happier. So thank y'all so much for that. And Cleo, I hope you enjoyed the Pokédex, bruh. I kept my promise. Don't send me nothing and don't buy me shit. If you want,
I will take a jacket from High Plan. I'm just saying.
I can't stand y'all. If y'all want to know what I'm all about, come check me out here. Right here. This name right here is all over the place. Blerdcorn combos are coming back. Bunch of different things. YouTube channel is going to be kicking it up. I will be in San Diego Comic-Con. I'll be flying in on Tuesday, and I will be there from Tuesday to the following Monday, the 29th. So if you are going to be in attendance in San Diego, or if you're in San Diego and you want to hook up with your boy, let me know. I don't mind chopping it up, getting some noms, and then going in part of the con. The great thing is Vanta Creates is going to be there, so I get to hang out with Vanta, because she is going to be part of something huge. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with the niece there. But if I could give a word to everyone who supported BlerdCon and who's going to support Atlanta Comic-Con, y'all are unsung heroes, because you're taking the chance to come out and spend your money and see what it's all about and support the mission. Deron is working hard. The crew of BlerdCon, we work hard. But if you're complaining and you don't support, you don't have any skin in the game. As far as I'm concerned, stick to Facebook where you belong, because only little bitches complain about shit you know nothing about. But to everybody who's come to BlerdCon and you spent the entire time, y'all are motherfucking heroes. Y'all are royalty. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And everybody who supported us with Blerd Station and BlerdCon coming together, 3 days of streaming, it wasn't easy, but it was done. And we're proud of it. So thank y'all.
I'm sorry, I'm singing Home Again from the Greatest Showman. I love that song.
Now I gotta play it again because you done put it in my head.
It's in my head. It stays in my head.
Home again. Okay, there we go.
And if they play it in Deadpool was a Wolverine, I'll be a happy man. Spartan, talk to the people.
And we will come back home.
There it is.
I need to watch it. I need to go see it, apparently.
Not y'all be shitting on Bridgerton, but here we are.
Well, let me tell you something about Bridgerton. Daphne is a villain. Hang on.
We're just
two things you know about Bridgerton. Number one, Daphne is a villain. Number two, Ping will get caught. There, I said it. You can stick with the shocked face there, Kira. She is a villain. That's all I'm gonna sit there and say.
I'm still telling you though.
Circumstance.
I am on Bridgerton season 3, and Ping gonna get caught. But she gonna get run through though, but she gonna get caught. Anyway, Black_Spartan 615 is where you can find me on the interwebs. Do everything, including gym stuff. Why? Because let me find peace between the weights. You can find me on my shows. How the Frack We Got Here every Wednesday at 7:30-ish. As I usually cover the news, especially what's been going on with a certain person, and how they're still here. Also, let me say what.
They call me Mr. Glass.
Yep. Also, check out also my other podcast, Get Bit podcast every Friday at 8:30, as we will cover the news, especially with the trailers and the comics and other news that has come out, including the Deadpool controller, because yes, it is real. Yes, it is being sold.
It is real. It's real.
It is confirmed to be real.
Talk about sitting on the bubble.
It is a marketing genius.
It's a controller with an actual Xbox Series X Deadpool skin, so they're marketing the crap out of it. Podcast can be seen wherever podcasts you get your podcast from. Of course, our other person here, Mayhem Media, usually covers blerdseyeView.org. You can definitely find us there, as most of us are writers there. I cover wrestling. Why? Because wrestling is real and people are fake. Again, this is a great time for wrestling, as there are more of us who are now being shown in matches, being shown in championships, actually getting ring time, including female wrestlers. Because again, a lot of black women wrestlers out there are not getting the shine they should get, and now is the perfect time to actually start watching. Just saying. Outside of Reverend Navy's church, as I like to say, we don't mess with the church's money, but at the same time, guys, a like, a share, and a follow costs nothing, but would mean the world to us. At the same time, with cons going on, 3 simple rules. Number 1, respect the cosplayer at all times. Cosplaying is for everybody, regardless of your height, your weight, your color, your preference. The only rule we have is don't do blackface. Don't want your ass kicked at a con? Don't do blackface. Number 2, as others will testify, who have been to BlerdCon, because a lot of these cons have very little room for a lot of people. Hygiene is important, which means wash your ass, use deodorant, use mouthwash, use toothpaste. If you're going to be close to somebody, and also native deodorant does not work. Just saying. Hygiene is everything. And number 3 is the same rule that I have for myself as I have for everybody else in a world that is unkind, that is cruel. Simply put, be nice, be kind, share fandoms, don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool.
Fine.
I'm checking the chat. Kira, did you have one more thing?
Yes, she did.
After you. Go.
Oh, okay. So I put a link back in the comments if y'all want. We are still doing the RDC card rollout. You also get mini prints in your package when you get it. So
how the fuck?
This is just what I came home to.
Right?
You know our addresses. I don't even know why you're playing.
How dare you, sir? Send me my shit.
Right, either one of these, or they have mystery packs now, and then the Taco Noir has the Aussie box, so that's also a thing. We have hella stuff we need to get done from BlerdCon. So 1, if you haven't already, or you missed the streams, or you saw the streams when they were live the first time, we are trying to rerun them again this weekend. So please like and subscribe to the BlerdCon channel. We have re-rolled it. We've put chapters on everything. We're going to try to schedule that up and make it look pretty this time. So we're going to do that for another run with Blerd Station and BlerdCon over the weekend. Thank you to everybody who came by the couch, because that was a blast. And then we have our first interview going on tomorrow is going to be Jay Lee, who sat with Captain and Laney. So that was a lot of fun. Whole lot of hallway banter. I've also saw the Hearts. Apparently they have 3 vlogs out already. So if everybody wants to go check Laney out.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jay
that's
for
gonna
for those
Chris,
visuals.
So I need to put
Shout
that.
out.
I need to do that to Chris too. So
Yeah,
you need to get what specs Jay using his computer. He works faster than I do. But yeah, and then we have stuff just from BlerdCon. So me keeping a promise to Tony Weaver, Davey keeping his promise to Cleo with the Pokédex. All that stuff is on the channel right now. So, and on top of that, between this show and House of the Dragon and our entire BlerdCon recap, that'll be up over the course of the next couple of days. You can also find me here on all platforms. I am.
Hang on to your unmentionables, people.
Famous Tafara.
Yeah, upload number 1000 is coming up after DreamCon. I'm gonna try to do something fun while we're there. Thank you to everybody who added to the Akira Toriyama tribute. By the way, I found out so many people didn't take pictures, but a lot of liquor poured out, a lot of blunt smoke. So RIP to the go. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything else. But yeah, we'll be at DreamCon next weekend, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Arrow in my heart. From now on.
Yeah, gotta try to get a lot done by like next Wednesday. So just keep a lookout on the channel. I'm probably gonna have stuff up the next like 5 days in a row. So stay tuned.
Why did I think you went through a storm wig on for a hot second?
I did too.
You should have seen her put it on. First, she covered over her entire head, and then she slicked it back.
And especially because when she was in the little box, I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Oh." Okay.
I was like, "What is she trying to tell me?"
I hope Monique ain't watching this show.
She can get my goddamn hair done. She can come over here herself and tell me all that shit. Until then. I would like to take this time out. I was going to put on my storm wig, but it's tangled. I would like to take this time out to shout out Navy Montel. You, sir, at BlerdCon did something for my confidence that I was not expecting. I was going to be absolutely terrified. You took the time out to let me speak in front of a room full of people for your panel. And it did move my soul in a positive way.
Felt good.
And I just wanted to take the time out to say thank you for that. You did not have to do that, but that is what is in your spirit to do. Thank you, sir. Bigger, better things coming from Lady Mandalore in general and Roomful of Blerds. Thanks to that man right there.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, Navy, enjoy your starter decks. I hope you get some gems in there. I hope you find all 5 pieces of Zodia.
Boom, boom, boom. And it's your man, Chris Fury, the man on the wall. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out to everyone who came and sat down with us at BlerdCon 2024 during the live stream for Blerd at Blerd Station. Go sign up at blerdstation.com. Tell them I sent you. Shout out to every guest that we had. Jason Michael Primrose, the crew over at Midnight Comics. Phil Boutte was in the building. Shout out to Cleo Thomas, Wes Armstrong, Roxy Hayes. Oh God, it was numerous. Kaish Black, Terrence, who's dressed as Boba Fett. There was so many people. Demeech was out there doing his thing. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody who showed support, showed love, just showed up. Shout out to this crew, because we couldn't have done it. We couldn't have done it without you. We couldn't have done it without 3 Black Geeks. And with the time frame that we had, we just handled business. So we did what we had to do. As far as I said, the whole was telling for real. It was fighting. It was fighting on the Wi-Fi and the bandwidth. It was giving us problems, but we muscled through it and we did what we had to do. So I appreciate everybody in their efforts and pushing in and filling in. Shout out to Mayhem. If Mayhem wasn't watching the board, CJ from 3 Black Geeks was watching the board. If it wasn't CJ, it was me. So damn near lost my voice Friday night. didn't know I was could go 3 hours and but then again I was yelling at the same time. So but shout out to everybody. Shout out to Kurt, Wendell, Navy, Shaq, Skip, as we did our panel. I got out of
and
that
Leah.
room.
And Leah.
Yeah, and Leah, she was in there in the building. I got out of that room just in time because it turns out Kurt had to do another shot of my Lord. Fury escapes again.
Wow.
I kept my vocals. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody who's come on. Shout out to Deron Flood and Greg Burnham. Go show your support at Atlantic Comic-Con coming up August 17th and 18th. You want to go check that out there in Norfolk, Virginia. Go follow him on IG, show your support. That brother is doing a major thing you want to support. If you're supporting literacy, education, and comics, and they all work together in athleticism, they all work together. Go show your support. If you're in the area, go out there. If you can afford to go out there, go out there. You can't beat that price. You cannot beat that price for a weekend. You cannot beat that price. So, and learn something on top of that, please. Come on. So thank you to everybody who's in the comment section who's been showing love. Shout out to Verb who dropped a couple pieces of coin on the building there. But you can catch us Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. YouTube, Twitch, IG for like an hour. We'll be back Tuesday. Then we're taking a break because DreamCon and Deadpool and Wolverine.
San Diego. I'll be in San Diego.
So after Tuesday, we won't be back till the 30th. So
Oh man.
And we will come back home.
Y'all are a goddamn mess.
And
that's the way you love us.
Real talk. That's such a Zorro thing to say right there. With that being said, remember to educate yourself and others, entertain yourself and others, and most of all, encourage yourself and others. Chris Fury, along with this dope crew, you never know where we'll show up, but I expect you to be there when we do. So until then, we're out.
Bye.
Yeah.